Hello. Hello. Welcome to Wellness Wisdom. Share tips, strategies, and information on how to keep yourself and your family well. Join me this evening, 5 p.m., and I'm here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to give you some strategies, to give you some ideas on what you can do to make healthy choices each and every day so that you can live the healthy life that you desire, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Tonight, we are going to be talking about two systems of medicine. I'm going to be going through with you some of the differences in the medicine and what you can look for, the information that you'll find, and basically how you stay well. And then I'll be sharing some of the natural modalities that you can use and begin to integrate into your self care and into your normal everyday life in order to make sure that you are well, that you are healthy, that you have longevity, and also be able to pass that down to your children and your grandchildren, right? It's all about enjoying life. And being able to leave a legacy to your children and your children's children. So I'm excited about what I have to share tonight. And I'm just going to wait a few seconds for people to come into the room. This is the healing room. Good evening. Good evening. I'm actually going to share a little bit with you from an article that I wrote in Better Magazine. This is the magazine, A Better Magazine, and I wrote a chapter on aromatherapy and essential oils. Yep. But tonight our focus on two systems of medicine. Many people may not even know that there are two systems of medicine. I mean, you probably do, but you haven't thought of it that way. So, okay, we're going live on Instagram now as well. So, two systems of medicine, and that is allopathic medicine. That is what we know as Western medicine, or some people call it traditional medicine or conventional medicine. And then the other side of that is alternative medicine, holistic medicine, or naturopathic medicine. Those are the two systems. We'll call it the Western medicine and the natural medicine or holistic medicine. Okay. And so I want you to kind of think about this as I go over the different aspects of it and keep in mind what exactly each modality is looking for. What is it looking at? And think about how it's going to be affecting your health in the now, but also in the future. Okay. So, allopathic medicine can be synonymous with Western medicine or conventional medicine. Holistic medicine is the alternative, natural, complementary medicine. Okay, it is more of a wellness way of looking at things. So, first off, allopathic medicine focuses on measurements. It focuses on symptoms. So many times, the first thing that happens when you go to the doctor is they ask you how you're feeling. And based on what you tell them how you're feeling is how they're trying to measure and line it up with their books to see what your diagnosis may be. Okay, so they're looking at the measurements. Just as if you want to lose weight, you're going to measure your body, you're going to measure your arm and your neck and your torso, your waist, your hips, and so on, to be able to determine when you lose weight, then you have smaller measurements, right? So with allopathic medicine is looking at the symptoms of what you're feeling. So if you go in and you say, oh, I've been having a headache, or I have a stomach ache, or my back hurts, and different things like that, they're using that as part of the measurements to get an idea of what it is that you're feeling and what it is that you're going through. Holistic medicine, on the other hand, doesn't just look at symptoms, it looks patterns. Holistic medicine takes into the account that, okay, if you're saying that your back hurts, why is it hurting? What is it that could be causing your back to hurt, or your knees to hurt, or your head to hurt? So it's not looking at just the symptom of the headache, but what is the underlying? What is the cause of the headache? In allopathic medicine, it helps you to get more to the root of the problem. As I always say, if we can get to the root of the problem, then we can take care of it from there, and then all the fruits will go away. So the fruits in this case would be the symptomology. It would be the symptoms that you're feeling with the headache. Okay, so but why do you have the headache? Okay, and so holistic medicine looks at the cause and the patterns that the body has, not just at the symptoms. So it's not as much in trying to relieve the headache and trying to relieve the stomach ache, but looking more at, well, why do you have a headache? Why do you have a stomach ache? Let's get to the root of that, and then the headache obviously is going to go away. Okay, so allopathic medicine looks at disease as an entity. Okay, as that's the main being, the disease, and you're trying to avoid it. You're trying to avoid pain. Whereas holistic medicine says, okay, you have pain. There's a reason that you have the pain. What is it that's causing this pain? Like I just spoke about with the headache, let's say, or a stomach ache or a backache, not just to take care of the pain and avoid the pain as allopathic medicine does, but take a deeper look into the body, take a deeper look into the lifestyle, to stress, to things like that, to see what the triggers are, to try to eliminate it from the point of the trigger. Okay, getting to the root of the problem. So holistic medicine looks at disease as a process, not as an entity, as a process, and it wants to try to determine or read where the pain is and why you're having the pain. Okay, next, general classified diagnosis. Okay, in allopathic medicine, based on the symptoms that you give them and the pain that you're having, they're going to classify you in a general area. Whereas in holistic medicine is looking at your specific needs. Okay, and it's more individualistic. It's looking at you as a person. It's looking at you as a whole, not just based on a list of pains, a list of symptoms. Okay, so holistic medicine is looking at the specific needs of each individual person. Two people can go into the doctor's office and complain of headaches and stomach ache, but the reason that they have those headaches and stomach ache could be very vastly different. Even two people in the same home that are eating the same foods. Now that's getting a lot more deeper into it, but just because you're of the same household doesn't mean that your body is going to respond the same way to the foods that you eat and to your environment. It's a very individual thing. And so it's important to look at each individual, okay, in order to properly assess the needs. Okay, next. Tools is looking at specific types of tools that it's going to use to help with the problem that you're experiencing. Whereas holistic medicine looks at integrated therapies. It looks at various things, various modalities that you can do to try to help get to the root of the problem. Hey, Alan. Hey, Dr. Isom. How are you? Okay, so it's not looking just at the technical tools, it's looking at various therapies that can work together. For example, you can have your general physician along with a chiropractor, along with, let's see, the acupuncturist, okay, along with a massage therapist. So there you have 4 different modalities looking into the issue of why you're complaining that you have a backache and also a stomach ache. Okay, so it's not just trying to medicate or give you something, look for a tool to take care of the stomach ache and the headache, but it's working together and knowing if you have a backache, it could be misalignment, which could also be affecting your stomach. And that can get so much deeper than that. And this is why it's important to look at the body as a whole, because your body and all of its 11 systems are working together integratively, or at least they should be. So to take out one particular piece and say, okay, well, we're just going to look at this. We're just looking at the digestive system, but we haven't taken into account the circulatory system or the respiratory system, because they can also play a part. Okay. And this is why holistic medicine is so important and is a lot more thorough, because it's looking at the various parts of you that make up you. Okay, not just looking at the problem that you're saying that you have. So allopathic medicine tends to be remedial. It tends to be combative. It tends to be reactive. So you have a pain and you're looking for a solution to that pain, whereas holistic medicine is more preventative. it's corrective, it's proactive. So there are different systems and uh, patterns in place that you can do to look more for what's overall going on with the body. Like, for example, last year, maybe earlier this year and last year, you saw me go to the oxygen chamber, okay? Hyperbaric oxygen chamber. That is one of the natural remedies or natural therapies, modalities that I chose to integrate into everything else that I was doing for a complete and total wellness plan for myself, and saying, okay, if there's headaches, if there's circulatory issues and conditions, if there's fatigue, it could be a lack of oxygen. It could be something going on with the respiratory system. And it's like, okay, I had to put oxygen on like this, but being in the chamber allowed my body to absorb oxygen, allowed me to breathe in oxygen at a higher, more concentrated level, but also allowed my body to absorb oxygen in the chamber. When it was a great experience, and there's a lot of different, how you call it, there's a lot of different benefits from it, and variations of how people say they feel after they do that. But one of the things, obviously, is to help the respiratory system and also to bring better circulation by bringing more oxygen into the body. So that was a nice experience. And I don't know if you remember, if you saw the video when I took my daughter to it as well. And I wanted her to try it because she had had a head injury. She had had a concussion again. And so just again, as a preventive method to try to help the body to heal itself, okay, because it was a mild concussion, that's why I chose to take her into the hyperbaric oxygen chamber to help the body to heal itself, to help give oxygen at that level that the body can begin to heal itself. And so that was a great proactive corrective method to add to what her primary care was also saying. And typically they were just talking about, resting the brain, resting her head from lights and learning and things like that. So for a few days, she wasn't allowed to do any of those things, text on her phone or any of that, in order to give her brain some rest. Okay, so holistic medicine is preventive, it is corrective, and it is proactive. And we can talk about that even with our diets, with what we choose to eat nutritionally, because there's foods that can act as medicine, right? And then there's food that can act as poison. And now when I say this, I'm not talking about junk food. We all know junk food is bad for us. We know chips are bad for us. We know candy is bad for us. We know smoking and alcohol is bad for us. We know certain things are bad for us. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the foods that are in your food triangle. I'm talking about grains and breads and legumes and nuts and seeds and fruits and vegetables, and meats, poultries. Those are the things that I'm talking about. I'm talking about genuine food. But depending on your blood type, some of those foods can act as a poison to your body, because your body, based on your blood type, doesn't know how to properly break it down. The food has something in it called a lectin, Lectin, and based on your blood type is going to determine how your body handles lectins. And so there are lectins in certain foods that, based on your blood type, your body will have a difficult time breaking it down, or your body will have an easy time breaking it down. And so food is not the same to everyone. Let's say avocados, oranges, grapefruits, it doesn't matter, potatoes, tomatoes. While those foods are good foods, right? They're healthy foods. They're in the vegetable column of the food triangle, right? Those foods may not be good to you based on your blood type. So based on my blood type, potatoes, tomatoes is going to be very acidic for me. And the lectins that are inherently in the tomatoes and potatoes are difficult for my body to break down. And so because of my blood type, those vegetables are hard for my body to break down. What it does is cause the lectins to congregate in certain areas, and it increases the. So what did I do? I made necessary choices to avoid potatoes and tomatoes. And so when you find a food that does not work well with your body and you need to abstain from that food, you can alternate and use other foods similar. So for example, for my blood type, it is actually good for me to have red meat. Okay, so if I'm going to have a burger, I'm going to try to choose the best burger meat brand, type that I possibly can, right? The healthiest. Okay, and then typically burgers go with what? Fries. Right? Typically burgers go with fries and maybe a salad, or you're putting your salad on the bun in the form of lettuce and tomatoes. Well, I don't eat tomatoes anymore, so I can have onions though, but I won't eat the tomatoes. So without having tomatoes, that means I'm not having ketchup on my burger anymore either. So I can use mayonnaise or mustard or some type of mixture of that. I like the garlic aioli sauce, so I'll do that too sometimes. And maybe barbecue sauce, depends on how it's made, because again, barbecue sauce can have tomatoes in it. So I'm abstaining from tomatoes because it increases the inflammation in my body. Okay. So, we're talking about eating right for your blood type. We're talking about the two systems of medicine, allopathic medicine versus holistic medicine. And so, I just got into talking about how food can affect your body, and eating certain foods is going to either have a positive effect and be like medicine, or it's going to have a negative effect and be like poison. So, for me, potatoes and tomatoes is like a poison to my body. And so, instead of having French fries with my burger, I will have sweet potato fries. I could also have yuca fries if I want. Another thing that I've done is I've sliced up some zucchini or some squash into little strips or long strips, so I can make it like zucchini fries. And so you can be very creative in the foods that you eat, or the foods that you cook and you choose to eat, so that you can give your body the best health as possible. So here it is. If you're in pain and you're having some type of sickness or some type of diagnosis, you want to eat according to what is going to help you to have the least amount of symptoms, or you want to eat according to your blood type, because based on your blood type is going to let you know what foods are good for you and what foods are not good for you. So based on the foods that you eat, it's either going to make the problem that you have better or worse. And so you have that power and you have that authority to choose what it is that you're going to put in your mouth and what it is that you're going to consume. Here's the thing. It would seem like it makes big sense, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense to say, well, if you're eating a particular food and in the long run is causing you to have more pain, you would stop eating that food. Unfortunately, it's not so. It's amazing, the amount of people like, oh, they just deal with the side effects of it because they like XYZ particular food. Like, I was talking to someone that has gout. And so they know they have gout. They know what they're supposed to eat and what they're not supposed to eat. That directly exacerbates the gout, but they eat it anyway. And then have pain and complain that, it's a problem. And so what I said is, it's important to learn how to take care of your body based on your blood type, based on whatever health condition that you have been told, because you can reverse that thing. You can make healthy choices in order to live better, even with XYZ diagnosis. Okay. That is a matter of choice. So you have to want to feel better, excuse me, more than you want to eat whatever this thing is that you say you're used to eating. And it's like, how am I going to eat a burger without fries? How am I going to eat a burger without ketchup? Well, if you want to enjoy your burger and you want to feel better, make some changes. And so that's what I've done, and it hasn't been hard. I've choose to focus more on the positives. Okay, so I had a burger yesterday and I made some sweet potato fries in the air fryer, so there was no oil, so that's not as fat, no cholesterol or anything with that. And I also had some breaded okra. And so I put that in the air fryer too. And it was so delicious. And I want to say, like, it makes you feel better when you're making healthier choices. It makes you feel better subconsciously when you're making healthier choices. It makes your body feel better. Okay. And your body is going to respond better. Okay. Someone on Instagram said, facts. I would switch up that burger too. uh, Pork, meats, beef, soda, artificial, all that stuff is very bad for us. Yes. So you missed the part about me talking about my blood type. And for my specific blood type, it's okay to have meat. Actually, not pork though, just beef. Actually, for my specific blood type, it is more beneficial for me to have meat over chicken. Trust me, that was hard for me to wrap my head around after, all that I've learned in wellness industry over the last 20 some odd years. But in studying out the blood type diet by Dr. Peter D. Adamo, it is better for my specific blood type. My blood type, my body knows how to handle and break down beef better than it does chicken. So I can have either, but as far as what is more beneficial to my blood type, that's beef over chicken. Yeah, that was hard for me too. But yeah, it really works. Okay, so getting back to the two systems of medicine, allopathic medicine is crisis. Let's see, she said she can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Oh boy. Okay. Let's see if you can hear me now. Okay, sorry about that. Someone on Instagram couldn't hear me. So, allopathic medicine is crisis oriented. It is focusing on when there's an issue that you have that you go and complain about to the doctor or go to the ER or whatever. It is an occasional intervention. So it's basically like waiting for something to happen and then saying, okay, I'll do something about it. Whereas holistic medicine is lifestyle oriented. It is more of a sustained type of maintenance. Okay, Instagram, I'm going to disconnect and reconnect you. Let's see if that helps. Delete. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Did have some people over there in Instagram land that were watching, so I wanted to get them back connected. So holistic medicine is lifestyle oriented. So it's about making these daily changes, these changes that are going to help your body in the long run. Because again, for me, I'm like, the goal is longevity. The thing is, like, you want to feel good now, you want to have energy now, you want to be healthy now, but you also want that to be sustained. You don't want to feel good now and have energy now, and then later on down the line, you're having some type of health condition because you made poor choices. So it's very important to change your lifestyle so that you can enjoy health, mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health even. Okay, so holistic medicine is more lifestyle oriented. It's not just making one change for now. For example, you go into the gym, you're working out, and you eat healthy so that you can lose the weight. I did this in 2017 and lose the weight. I lost a bunch of weight. I got my body nice and toned. I was doing much better, just physically fit and everything, definitely a lot stronger. And then as life began to progress, I began to let go of some of those disciplines that I had. I began to let go of some of that. I began to not be as disciplined with getting to the gym and working out. And what happened as a result? I gained the weight back. And so in holistic medicine, you want to be able to sustain and maintain this lifestyle change. So it's not just an occurrence, okay, or you're trying to win a prize or whatever, and you're at a challenge at the gym or something like that, but it's actually making the necessary changes in your daily life, in your weekly life, in your monthly life, so that you can maintain longevity. Okay, does that make sense? So, allopathic medicine is occasional intervention. It is crisis oriented, and holistic medicine is lifestyle oriented. It is sustained maintenance. Okay. Allopathic medicine is radical. It's defensive. So when the body is reacting and having different symptoms, you're trying to do whatever you can to get rid of the symptoms right away. And so that's a defensive approach. Whereas holistic is natural, it's ecological, it's more about the whole system of your body and how your body systems work and how they're working together or not working together, and being able to bring back that balance so that your body systems can work together so that you can feel better. It's not about the occasional occurrence, although it can deal with and handle the occasional occurrence. It's about a whole lifestyle that's going to prevent those occurrences from happening. Okay, does that make sense? So not just treating the specific occurrence when it happens, but living your life in such a way and eating what is beneficial to you that those occurrences are not happening at all. Okay. Allopathic medicine looks at medicine as a counter agent. where holistic looks at it as a co-agent. What is it that I can use from the earth? What is it that I can use naturally that's going to work well with my body and with my body's systems to aid my body in healing itself? Your body was designed to heal itself, but it needs some basic things in order to do that: water, sleep, rest, exercise, nutrients. Okay, it needs those basic things to help the body balance itself so that you can be well. Okay, allopathic medicine focuses on side effects, chemicals, and surgery. Okay, now anything that you give to the body that is not made naturally, holistically, that it cannot communicate with, your body is going to resist. Your body is going to give off a fight, give off a feeling and a response to what you're feeding it. And those are the side effects that they're talking about. So those side effects are going to be naturally inherent when you're feeding your body a lie. Okay, basically. So God made our bodies. God is the creator. We didn't make ourselves. Even our parents didn't just make us. God set the system in place. And so God made our bodies, and God heals our bodies, and he put things inherently in the earth to heal our bodies. Okay. So God is the spirit of truth, right? God cannot lie. He cannot lie. He can only tell the truth. And so our body is made after his image and his likeness. So our body knows truth. And then that means our body also knows a lie. So when we eat the wrong things, or the wrong things for our blood types, or when we take in certain things in our body, attempting to heal our body, but they did not come from the earth, they're trying to trick our body out of the symptoms. And so therefore we are feeding our body a lie. And whenever you try to feed your body a lie, your body, knowing the truth, is going to resist. It's going to resist that thing. And those are what they call the side effects. But they're going to happen because you're giving your body something that it wasn't supposed to have. It's like me seeing a masked man at the door. Then I know that he doesn't belong here. He doesn't have keys. He doesn't have access. He's in a mask. So I don't know who he is. So he doesn't belong here. So he's trying to unlock the door. So he's lying because he doesn't have the authority to be here, right? Because I haven't let him in, because he doesn't have a key. This is what our body does. This is what our body goes through when we use certain medicines that do not come from the earth, that are not best for our bodies, that have so many side effects or have so many chemicals in them. Our body is going to be resisting them and saying, hey, you don't belong here. Okay. And that's where we get all these other side effects from, the body resisting the medication. And this is why holistic medicine is the best form of medicine, is the best way for your body to be healthy, longevity, to be healthy overall, because you're using what comes from the earth. You're using what your body can communicate with. On a cellular level, on a DNA level, we want to feed our body the medicine that comes from the earth, that comes from the ground. Those are the herbs and trees and shrubs and things like that. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay. Allopathic medicine talks about radiation and replacement. Okay. Whereas holistic medicine talks about purification. It talks about manipulation. It talks about correction. And in this sense, manipulation is a good thing. Manipulation is changing the mind. The manipulation is causing your spine to be in a proper alignment, doing the different techniques that are necessary to bring that spine back in normal alignment. That's the manipulation that we're talking about. And that's a good thing, because when you have your spine in a proper alignment, that allows your brain to communicate more efficiently and effectively to all of your organs and to your organ systems. Whenever you have a misalignment in your spine, that's what we call it. When you have a misalignment in your spine and you have a vertebrae that is not in its proper alignment, that vertebrae is not getting the information, is not getting the message that the brain is putting out. So each vertebrae correlates to various different organs. I hope I can explain this as clear as possible so that you can get it. Each vertebrae in your spine is a whole column. It's made up of several vertebrae. Each vertebrae is assigned to a specific organ system of your body, and some of them overlap, meaning certain vertebrae can be attached to two separate organ systems. Okay. So, for example, let's say your your T4, your thoracic region, the vertebrae in the thoracic region, number 4, there's 8 vertebrae in the thoracic region. So let's just say number 4, and really it's like 1 to 8. But number 4 has to do with your heart. So what's coming from that vertebrae is going out to your heart system, but it can also go out to your lung system, your respiratory system, right? And so if T4 is out of alignment and your spinal column's here, T4 is over here, then that means that your brain sending the information down the spinal column, T4 is not getting the message. Okay, T4 is correlated to your heart. So that means there's a portion of your heart that's not getting the proper message to be in alignment. So now when you go to the chiropractor, they bring everything into alignment. Now your T4 is lined up with the rest of the thoracic region. And now your brain can give the proper signal it needs. I hope that makes sense. So some people don't like chiropractors, or they're against it, or they don't like the cracking sound. Let me tell you, chiropractic care is very important to your health. So let's say your T4 is out of alignment, as an example that I just noted, and you start to just have a little uncomfortableness in your back, but it's nothing bad. It's not a lot of pain, so you can deal with it, and so you keep going. And so you trip, or you slip, or you sleep a wrong way, or you went on a long drive, and now your back is hurting. And so now your T3 is out of alignment, your T4, your T5, your T6 is out of alignment. That's 4 vertebrae in the thoracic region that are correlating to your heart that are now out of alignment. What does that mean? That means that as your brain is trying to send information down the spinal column to your various organs, there are 4 vertebrae that are not getting that message and able to send that signal to your heart. So could it be that that person could be more at risk for a heart attack or other heart problems and symptoms? Absolutely, because those vertebrae are not in alignment and they're not getting the proper message in order to function properly. This is how important spinal health is. Okay, very, very important. So get a good chiropractor. If you don't know one, I have a couple in the area that I can recommend to you. Excuse me. Okay. Allopathic medicine emphasizes on the cure, and then they tell you XYZ things, there's no cure. It's uncurable. And they're always searching for a cure, running for a cure, working for a cure, and all of that. Hogwash. God made a cure for all of us. And in fact, he tells us in Luke chapter 9, verses 1 and 2, that he has given us power and authority over all devils, okay, over all disease. And he says that we are to heal the sick and to cure disease. That's what the Bible says. So I'm going to go by what the Bible says. I'm not going to go by the people in the white coat and what they say. So holistic medicine focuses on healing. A cure is available according to the word, but it focuses on healing the body. Sometimes it's healing the mind. It's what you're thinking. It's your self-talk. It's what you're saying to yourself that is directly affecting your body and your organs and how they work or how they don't work. And so we have to be very careful, because there is a very deliberate, very succinct mind-body connection. And so if you're not thinking well, if you're not thinking right, if you're thinking negative thoughts often, it's going to affect how your body works. Okay, the stress is going to affect how your body works. But even for the stress that you may be experiencing, it starts with the mind. It starts with your emotions and how you're feeling, or how you assess a particular situation and how you feel about it. So if you're feeling, negative about it, if you're feeling that it's overwhelming, that is very frustrating, and you're not able to deal with those thoughts, with that mindset on that level, and you stay in that frustration, and you stay in that overwhelm, and you stay in that anxious state, it begins to then have an effect, a physiological effect on the body. So that means it moves from here, it moves from your mind, it moves down into your body and begins to cause a disruption. A part of your body begins to act up. So stress can affect and lead to heart disease and heart attacks. It can lead to stroke. It can lead to increased inflammation with joint pain and problems and things like that. So stress is a killer. Okay, but it doesn't have to be, because we need to take on the mind of Christ, and we need to know that it is God's plan and purpose for us to be healed, for us to be well. Okay. And know that there's no good thing that God will withhold from us if we walk uprightly. To know that if there's any particular problem, situation, or circumstance that we find ourselves in, that God will come alongside us, be with us. He will never leave us nor forsake us, and He will make a way of escape. So whatever it is that you're going through, you're not going to be going through that all the time, but you have to get help and you have to depend on God. And based on when you do that, how you do that, how often you do that, is going to determine the level of stress in your body. When you stay in a stress state, it turns on cortisol in the body. Cortisol is the fight or flight, as you have to make a decision. Okay, somebody's running after me. Do I run? Do I jump in the car? Do I go in the store and get help? Like, what do I do? And in that split second, trying to make the best decision that you can for your safety, for your protection. But staying in that state of fight or flight too long, okay, because it was only meant to be short-lived, staying in that state too long literally causes sickness and disease in your body. It opens the door for that. Raised cortisol levels, and so it opens the door for sickness and disease, and it opens the door for death. Cortisol is called the death hormone. And so we want to keep our cortisol levels lower. I want to also say that as you age, your cortisol levels increase naturally. So if you're aging and you have a very stressful lifestyle, your cortisol levels are going to be higher. So what does that mean? That means that you need to do things to reduce your cortisol level. That means you need to be thinking healthy and thinking right. That means that you need to be eating healthy and eating right, eating for your blood type. That is going to help your body to manage stress better, so that it's not going to cause a detrimental long-term effect on your body. Okay. So allopathic medicine focuses on speed, comfort, and convenience. Oh, I want you to be healthy, and not even that. They don't say that, I want you to feel better. I want you to get out of pain as fast as possible. So here, take this pill. Here, take this blue pill, this purple pill, this whatever. So that you can feel better and you can get out of pain today, fast. But I want to challenge you, because whatever it is that you're going through, it didn't just happen today. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're having heart issues, circulatory issues, this problem increased over time because of how you were eating, because of your stress level, because of your thought process, because of your lack of sleep, because of things like alcohol, drugs, and things like that. They begin to have effect on your body over time. If these things showed up immediately, then people wouldn't do it. If smoking a cigarette or smoking a joint had an immediate effect on your body, and your skin began to dry up and wrinkle, people wouldn't do it. Or your liver began to have fatty liver or dryness or scar tissue immediately, then people wouldn't do it. So people do these things because they feel like, oh, it won't happen to me, or that happens for them, or the long-term side effects are far off. It's not going to happen right away. And so that's why they do things. We do things that are not good for our body because there's no immediate effect. But I want to challenge you. That's not necessarily true. There is an immediate effect. You just don't get to see the effect of it until it gets bad. So it didn't just happen overnight. So that means it's not going to get fixed overnight. So why are we constantly searching for an immediate fix to something that we've been building upon to go wrong in the first place? That's something I want you to think about. So allopathic medicine says, let's get you out of pain as quick as possible, as easy as possible. Holistic medicine says, let's help to restore you. Let's help with regeneration of your cells, of your body, even of your mind. And let's go for a transformation, a transformative effect, not a quick pill that you're going to hopefully get some symptoms now. Because understand, anything that you do that's supposed to be quick and thorough is going to leave some type of side effects. And then you're going to need something else for those side effects. Whereas when you're doing it holistically, you're listening to the body, you're looking at the body and the things that you've gone through, and you're not just trying to take a pill for now, but you're trying to reverse, if you will, reverse whatever health challenge that your body is going through by giving your body what it needs to heal itself. So when you heal naturally, typically it takes a little bit longer. But to me, that's okay, because it took you time to get there. It's just now that you're at the end of that thing and it's bothering you, you have all this pain. Now you want a quick fix. But if you do it slow and steady, your recovery is going to have longevity. It's not going to be a quick overnight thing, because that's not sustainable, and that's not true. That's like lying to your body. You're tricking your body out of symptoms. I'll give you an example. You ever wonder how you take certain medication, supposed to be pain reliever, pain medicine? It could be a type of acetaminophen. There's many name brands, right? It could be a type of ibuprofen. Okay, these are pain blockers. So when you take this particular medicine, it doesn't know if your hand hurts or your neck hurts or you have a headache, a backache, a toe ache. It doesn't know. It doesn't know where the pain is in your body. It blocks your, in the back of your brainstem, it blocks your center for pain. So during that 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, or 12 hours, you don't know that you have pain. So part of the goal for you, right, especially with allopathic medicine, is to get you out of pain quickly. Okay, speed and convenience, pain avoidance. Okay, so it's not looking at why you have the pain. It's saying, okay, let's take this pill so we can get you out of pain quickly. It never even asks, where does this pain come from? What is this pain associated with? How did you get to this point right here today? It doesn't look at that. It just looks at medicating it. So during that time, you don't even know that it's there. But guess what? It's still there. It's just that you don't feel it at that time. You don't notice it for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, however long the medicine lasts. And then here's the thing. You take the medicine, the cramps go away, the headache goes away, 4 hours, you're feeling good. Come the 5th hour, you start feeling pain again. What do? You take more. So that's not the answer to the problem, but I do understand that you need to get out of pain. So I say, while you're doing the allopathic, if that's the way you choose to do it with the holistic also. And that's what they're calling complementary medicine when you join the allopathic or Western medicine along with the holistic medicine, because we can't just look at the body as parts. Because it's not parts. The body is a whole unit all working together. And so if my left arm hurts, then my right arm has to make up for what the left arm can't do. Okay. So it is affecting my whole body, not just the left arm. Okay. So holistic medicine is looking at the body as a whole, even your mind, even your spirit. How does this play a part? Because it does play a part. Okay, very, very important. So the emphasis with holistic health is on healing. It's on healing the body. It's on healing from the root cause of whatever bothers you, and not just trying to put a patch or a Band-Aid over whatever the problem is, or just a pain pill over whatever the problem is. Okay. So allopathic medicine looks at the patient as a recipient, whereas holistic medicine looks at a patient as a source of healing. How could that be? You are the source of your healing because God made your body, made you in such a way that your body is able to heal itself. But you have to participate. You have to put on that life jacket and jump in there and begin to swim. In other words, you have to become an active participant in your health. You have to begin to make choices. You have to begin to make lifestyle changes to your health. If you know that you have some health conditions going on, you need to try to sleep at night. And then that could be one of the symptoms of the issues that you're having is insomnia or broken sleep. Okay. And so if you're having insomnia, that's another issue that needs to be looked at so that you can give your body what it needs in order to calm down, in order to rest, in order to be able to get into that relaxation state for a prolonged period of time. That's basically what sleep is. Otherwise, it's just naps. And naps are helpful, but they're not good enough. In order for your body to heal, in order for your body and your cells to regenerate, you have to get into a deep level of sleep. And that's called a REM 5 level of sleep. So only when you're in a REM 5 level of sleep is your body able to heal itself. Is it able to correct the things that you've done wrong? Is it able to correct from the poor decisions that you maybe have made over your health? And I say it that way because you are responsible for how you feel. You are responsible for your health. Take responsibility for your health. Take responsibility for the choices that you have made. Don't leave it to the person in the white coat. It's not their fault. Nothing that they did caused you to be the way that you are today. It is your choices. It is your mindset. It is how you think or don't think about certain things. It is the amount of sleep or lack thereof that you're getting. It is what you're putting into your mouth that is directly correlated and affecting how your body feels each and every day. So if you're saying that you have inflammation, that you have joint pain, knee pain, back pain, whatever, but yet you're still eating red meat, or you're still drinking coffee, or you're still smoking, or you're still drinking, well, then that's on you, because you're refusing to take away the things that your body does not want and does not need in order to heal itself. And so some people, they say, okay, well, I'm not going to eat this right now. I'm not going to drink this right now. And they put it away and they don't do it anymore until they feel better. But then they feel better and they begin to integrate those things back into their life again. And so we have to be disciplined if we want to experience divine health. And this is what I'm teaching about, because we don't just want health, we want divine health. Divine health was promised to us in the word of God. And in 3 John 2, it says, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as, there's a conditional statement, even as your soul prospers. Well, what is your soul? Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. And so we're not just going to think ourselves well. We have to actually make the choices, make the decisions to eat the right things, to abstain from the wrong things in order to experience wellness in our body, in our mind, and in our soul. Okay, very, very important. You have power. You have authority over your body, over sickness and disease. And furthermore, the word of God says that you have power and authority over every demon and every devil, and that he has already given you the power and authority to cure disease. So if you're not experiencing that, then the question is why? And it doesn't fall on the white coat, it falls on you. What are you saying? What are you not saying? Sometimes silence is worse or just as bad as saying the wrong thing, as saying nothing. We need to be saying the right things. We need to be speaking the word of God over ourselves. We need to be making the right choices. Nobody's perfect. I get that. Thank God, God's not asking for perfection. It's not about perfection. It's about each and every day making healthy choices, doing the best that you can for your health, for your life, for your family, doing what God has called you to do and letting him do the rest. So there's still some onus on you. There's still some responsibility that you have to take if you say you want to be healthy. Okay, don't be mad at anybody but yourself, because nobody is force feeding you. And you can heal your body with a knife and fork, because honestly, that's how you got sick, with a knife and a fork. Aside from sleeping, okay, aside from medication that you may have taken, basically it started with a knife and a fork, and it started with your mind, with your thoughts. What do you think about yourself? What do you think about your life? What is your worldview? All of these things play a part in your body, in your health, and how healthy your body is going to be, or how your body is going to strive for and yearn for being healthy. You have to feed your body what it needs. Okay. Okay, so make better decisions each and every day. Then this is not to beat you down. This is to build you up, to let you know that the power rests in your hands. The power rests in your choices. Live in your personal world, the things that's going on around you, change it. How do you change it? Well, you start by what you say, which starts by what you think. So where are you getting this from? You should be getting your information from the word of God. You should be getting your strength from the word of God. Your peace comes from the word of God. And so it is our knowing him, it is our fellowship and our communion with him that's going to help us to think the way that we're supposed to think, so we can make proper decisions, so that we can experience the health that he already made a way for us to have, that he already planned and prepared for us to have. But it is up to us to make the choices, the right choices, and go hand in hand with him to do what it is that he called us to do. So the responsibility is on you. And that's a good thing, because that means that you have the power to heal your body, and it's not dependent on anyone else. And it doesn't matter what we're talking about. This is October. This is Cancer Awareness Month, or Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is very important, because based on what you're eating, you could be eating or away from a diagnosis of cancer. Yeah, it's true. It's literally true. And based on your blood type, I'm going to talk about blood type again. I can't get away from it, because it's what makes up your body. So based on your blood type, there are certain blood types that are more susceptible or more prone to cancer, or certain types of cancer. I give you an example. A particular blood type has low acid, and so they have trouble digesting certain foods. So if you continue to eat those foods that your blood type has a hard time digesting, you're going to obviously have digestive issues, right? Things are going to ferment, things are going to stay in your body, in your system that are supposed to be moved out, that are meant to be moved out, but they're not because they can't, because you're not eating the right foods. And your body naturally, inherently has a sluggish digestion because it has low acid. And so when you're eating certain foods, again, lectins, Lectin, in the food is going to tell your body where these things are going to be stored. So after it's stored enough of them are stored in a particular area, that's when cancer can be turned on, that, or it can become cancerous and things like that. So it's very important what you eat. It's very important what you don't eat. It's very important that you eat according to your blood type, because you have the power to say, I'm never going to have cancer, or it's just a matter of time before I have cancer. Either one is true. Either one is true, and it's based on you and the decisions that you make. Now, if you have more questions about that and you want to talk more about that, you can do that offline, or you can go to my website and you can schedule a 15-minute consultation with me, Cali.com. All right, I put the link in the comments there. And so you can schedule a 15-minute consultation with me, or if there's anything wrong with the link, then you can just DM me, and that's something we can talk about. So it's very important that you know your blood type. If you don't know your blood type, you need to find out your blood type. You may say, oh, I've given blood before. Have they taken blood before? Yes, that's true. However, they're not testing your blood to see what type it is. They're testing for different other bacteria, virus, and things like that. So your blood type test is a very specific test. You have to ask for that. So if you don't know what your blood type is, I encourage you to find out what your blood type is, because this is going to be the basis for your health or lack thereof. This is the best place to start. Okay, it's finding out what your blood type is. That way you can completely avoid the things that your blood type doesn't like, the things that turn on disease in your body. You avoid those foods. Not only can you avoid sickness, but you can heal your body of whatever's wrong. Now, I don't know if you guys remember my client, Paul. I had a wellness client that had not Alzheimer's. He had oh my goodness, I forgot that quick. Anyway, he had a lot of health issues, a lot of health conditions. Parkinson's, that's what he was diagnosed with, and several other things. And he had multiple surgeries and blah, blah, blah. So he had a lot of health issues going on. He kept falling, and he had a lot of digestive issues and everything. So I did a test. We found out his blood type, and I began to feed him according to his blood type, specifically according to his blood type. Now, when you're doing a blood type eating, there's 3 columns. The first column says, this is what's highly beneficial for you. So when you eat these foods, they act as medicine in your body. The second column says, these foods are neutral to you. These foods just act as food. They don't heal you, but they don't hurt you either. So they're neutral. Okay. That's not a bad thing, but it's not going to cause your body to heal. It's just going to pass out as food, and that has its place. But if you're not well, or you've been diagnosed with something and you want to heal your body, you need to eat from your beneficial column, period. Okay. Because this is the food that will be medicine and can cause your body to heal itself and turn that diagnosis around. Okay. So beneficial, neutral, and the third column is your avoid column. Okay. These are the foods that at all costs you need to avoid them. Why? Because when you eat these foods, they act like sickness. They act like poison, in your body, and they create sickness. When you eat the foods that your blood type says that you should avoid, it acts as poison in your body. So once again, I am proving to you that you have the total ability and total responsibility for your health. Now, if you're a parent, grandparent, you have the responsibility for the health of your children. Children, like most of mine are, now I have to take the time, and I am taking the time to teach them certain things and tell them certain things so that they can learn it, so they can teach it to their children. But you best believe I'm teaching it to my grandchildren. Absolutely. Ellie just turned 1, eating right for her blood type. She gonna learn about making healthy choices for her life. They're children. And at this point, they only know what tastes good. They only know what they like, right? So it's important, a couple things, to expose your children to different types of food, encourage them to taste it. You don't have to force them to eat it. I'm not saying that, and I'll get in trouble with all these gentle parenting people. I'm not saying force your kid to eat anything. What I'm saying is present them with the opportunity to try new things and encourage them to do so. Why? Because you don't know that it doesn't taste good if you've never tasted. You don't know that it does taste delicious if you've never tasted it. So if you're going to just look at something and be like, no, I'm not going to taste that, and you're like, okay, no problem, you don't have to, you're never going to taste those things. I didn't know that I liked avocados until I was in my late 30s. I just knew it was green and I didn't want to eat it. Okay. My parents didn't eat avocados, and so it's not something that I was exposed to. But once I decided to get beyond the green and the mushy and I tasted it, I love avocado. Now, here's this. I find out earlier this year as I'm studying and doing the blood type diet that avocado is not good for my blood type. I'm like, dang it, just when I'm liking it and I'm trying to eat it more often to get the healthy fats, for my brain health, I find out, according to my blood type, I should avoid avocado. I was like, golly. So guess what? I don't eat avocado anymore. But it's not because it's green or mushy or the way it looks. It's because I learned that the lectins in avocado, my body doesn't know how to break down properly. And therefore, it can begin to congregate and turn on disease in my body. And so I decided, well, I don't want that, so I'm not going to eat avocado anymore. Could I eat it once in a blue moon? Yes, but I choose not to. Same thing with tomatoes. Same thing with potatoes for me, because they create inflammation in the body. And then I'm wondering why my knees hurt. So, instead, if I'm going to Chick-fil-A with my daughter, as much as I love the waffle fries and the Chick-fil-A sauce, I'm not eating that. Okay. I'm going to have the salad. Okay. So it's about making healthy choices. So I want to encourage you to take the responsibility for your health. Begin to make healthy choices. It doesn't matter where you eat. Well, it does matter where you eat within reason. But my point is that wherever it is that you eat, you can choose a healthy option. Okay. Don't let you being on the road or traveling a lot or your busy schedule. Don't let that be the reason that your body breaks down, because you're making poor choices for your health. Okay. Because you don't want to just be healthy for now today, but you want to be healthy for tomorrow and for next year and 10 years and 20 years, God willing. You want to be able to see your children grow up. You want to be able to see your grandchildren grow up, maybe even your great grandchildren. You want to be able to enjoy life. And it is God's purpose and plan for you to enjoy life. But how many know you can't enjoy life very well when you're in pain? My mom is 66 years old and she is in another room in a bed. She can't get up. If she's cold, she can't tell me. If she's hot, she can't tell me. She can't talk. She no longer has her health. Thank God she has some health, because she doesn't have like a lot of health conditions, but because her brain is affected through dementia, she's not able to communicate anymore. Okay. She's not able to walk anymore. She's not able to stand on her own anymore. So I want to encourage you to take care of your health while you have health. Okay. Cherish those around you that you love. Make sure you tell them that you love them and help them to make the right decisions. And you be an example to your family members, to your children, to your grandchildren, that you're making healthy decisions so that you can be around for a long time for them. So many times I go on Facebook and this person lost a loved one, lost a loved one, lost a loved one. And it's like, oh my God, and it's very sad. And I don't know all of their situations. So what I'm saying to you is, and to those of you that allow me to inspire you, to empower you, to encourage you, and to influence you, I'm telling you to take responsibility of your health. Begin to make healthy choices. Don't just think about you. Don't be selfish in your thinking and just think about you and what you want to eat right now and what taste you have right now. Think about how is it going to affect your body, because everything you do and everything you don't do affects somebody else. No decision you make affects only you. No decision you make affects only you. Every single decision you make, including what you choose to eat, including your sleep habits, every decision you make affects someone else. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're making different decisions for your life. Make the best decisions that you can for your health and for your life, and make the best decisions as you can for your family. Okay. All right. So I was going to get into a couple other things, but I don't really have time. My article here on aromatherapy, basically essential oils can help to heal your body. Why? Because they came from the trees, herbs, shrubs, grass, I said shrubs, bushes, and so forth that God made. And when he made this in the Garden of Eden, he breathed into them, right? He created them through his breath by speaking, let there be trees, let there be, plants, whatever. And so it has his breath, and God is love, God is healing, everything good is in God. And so when he created it, it's inherently in those things. So now when we consume those things, when we consume the trees and the grass and the shrubs and things, and we're not out there eating trees, right? But we might be out there hugging trees, but we're not out there eating trees. We can use the essence from these trees, shrubs, grass, herbs, etc., to aid our body in its natural healing process. How so? Because again, God created it. God is the spirit of truth. He cannot lie. God is healing, and he provides healing. And so the healing is in the earth. It is in the land. And so when we partake of these things, they can help our body to heal itself. And they're speaking truth to our body so they can communicate with our body on a cellular level. They can even help to repair damaged DNA. It can help to aid our mental, our emotional mind and our thinking, but also our physiological, okay, in helping our body to actually heal itself. For example, if you had a stomach ache and you go over to grandma's house and you tell her that you have a stomach ache, what is she going to make you? Put it in the comments. What kind of tea is she going to make you if you say your stomach hurts? If you say you have cramps or you can't sleep, what kind of tea is grandma going to make you? She's going to make you peppermint tea if you have a tummy ache. Okay, everybody knows peppermint tea soothes the tummy. And if you need to rest, you need to sleep, maybe she'll make you some chamomile tea or maybe some lavender. So these things have been around for centuries. Okay, this is not new. It is more new that we begin to learn how to use these things, but they've been around for a long time. They are tried, tested, and true, and they really, really work. And so I want to encourage you that we can have a discussion about what essential oils that you might need to add to your life to help for your body to heal itself, because your body was made to heal itself. You have to give it what it needs to do so. So there's certain essential oils that can help with your liver, that can help your liver to function better, that can cleanse your liver. There are certain essential oils that you can use that can help balance your hormones. Okay, your hormones are going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your sleep patterns. It's going to affect your digestion. It's going to affect whether you're tired or you're energetic. Okay, so hormones are very important, and as we age, men too, but especially women, hormones really get out of whack, and it begins to affect your mood. It begins to affect your sexual performance in your marriage. It begins to affect your sleep patterns and things like that. And if we're not getting enough sleep, remember, your body can't heal itself. You're going to be moody. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be fatigued. So it has a trickle down effect to many different things. So sniffing a particular oil or putting a particular oil, let's say, over your thyroid gland can help to aid the function of that gland. Okay, can help to aid the function. Now, this particular oil, it's very good for respiratory. And so just by breathing it in, just by inhaling it, it can help to bring oxygen into the body and oxygen into the lungs. John just said hot flashes. Listen, man, I believe, okay, I don't have hot flashes, and it is all because of the natural remedies and the modalities that I use. So I encourage you to set an appointment with me and find out what you need to do to balance those hormones. Okay, I'm trying to live long and strong for as long as I possibly can. And I understand that it is my responsibility for the choices that I make and what I put in my mouth or what I don't put in my mouth. And so I want to be here for my grandchildren. I want to see them graduate high school, college. I want to see them hopefully, have children. So I want to be here for a long time. All right. The youngest one is 1. The oldest one is 6. So I got to be around for a long time. The only way that that's going to happen is if I'm taking care of my body and I'm making healthy choices. I don't want to end up like my mom. I don't want to be young and be bedridden. I don't want to be old and be bedridden. I want to be at least walking around for as long as I possibly can, okay, till the rapture comes. And so I have to take care of this body. I'm only given one body, and I have to take care of it as best I can while I'm here on this earth. And God has given us the power to do that. And he has also put people in our lives to help us and to aid us. And he has put everything that we need in our life to help us and to aid us. So we have to just open up our mind and begin to expand and do new things, and even pray and ask him, God, what should I do? Should I work with Dawn? Is she my wellness coach? How can she help me? Okay. I can go so many different ways, but the time is far spent. I will say this. I have something called a bioscan, and it is like a little electrical probe. I'm just going to use like a pen. It's not even this big, and you just hold it in your hand like this, and then it's able to assess and see what's going on in your body. It's using like quantum physics or like magnetic resonance imaging, similar to an MRI, but this is one that is handheld and is connected to a computer, and is able to really go through your body system. So it's checking your heart, it's checking your immune system, it's checking your respiratory system, it's checking your excretory system, it's checking your musculoskeletal system. It's even checking your subconscious mind. Are you dealing with guilt? Are you dealing with shame? Are you dealing with, you need to have more joy or peace or whatever? It tells you all of this stuff. It is amazing. It is done in about less than 5 minutes, really. I don't even think it's a full 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, it spits out a 123-page report to let me know what's going on in your body. So if you want to set up a consultation for that and come and have the bioscan done, and then we can go over some of the things on your report, that would be great for you to find out what's really going on in your body and knowing what you need to work with. And then as a certified holistic coach, I can let you know what you need to do. What are the protocols that you need to follow to get your body back in balance to begin to walk in divine health? So all I got for today. I didn't want to be too long. Join me next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but whatever it is going to be good. So next week, Wednesday at 5 p.m. See you then.